Back when Adam was 3, we found out just before he was 3 that he was profoundly deaf. And we needed to figure out how best to get language in him, I guess you'd say. And we were given a pamphlet at Children's Hospital about the different deaf schools. We were tested at a different deaf school, and then we came to St. Joe's, and it was night and day knowing, walking in here, about the family atmosphere and knowing that this was the right place for him, the best place he could be. So it was really not a decision at that point. So Adam started here just before he was 3 in the Malloy Center, or Malloy program. And then he went on through preschool, and he is now graduate. If families are wondering what they should do with their kiddos who are deaf, I think they need to look at all their options. They need to come visit the school, and you'll find very soon what the school can offer. And just watching the other kids and seeing what they can do and knowing and hearing about where the kids started when they first came is going to pretty much seal the deal. You'll find out very quickly what the kids can do, and there is hope. You don't have to wonder if the kid is ever going to be able to function in the real world. Adam, you'll find out soon. Since being at St. Joe's, he started out rather slow, only because he had some other issues going on. And he was able to get above and beyond his areas that he had real difficulty with. He is social. He's got an ego. He thinks he can do anything he puts his mind to, and he's going to get out there and do his best. And on top of that, he knows how to advocate for himself. He knows what his limitations are, and he's got the stuff he needs to be able to get out there and do what he needs to do. And St. Joe's was able to provide that to Adam and our family.
We chose St. Joe's 10 years ago because we were in a school situation where Brandon was one of 12 children in an early childhood classroom through our school district, and he was the only deaf child in the classroom, and so he was not getting the services that he truly needed at 4 years old during a critical language development time. And I actually took him to University of Central Missouri for additional therapy besides what he was getting at our school district. And the director there had just gone to a conference, and she handed me a video, and it was called Dreams Spoken Here. And I went home and watched it, and it was the first time that I had ever been told or anything. I didn't know that oral communication was out there for deaf children. I never dreamt that he could talk. I thought he would sign the rest of his life. And I don't have a problem with signing, but we didn't know how to sign. I wanted him to be able to, when I was making a choice for him, be able to learn to talk during those critical language years. And watched the video. I called St. Joe's the next day. We came down here for a tour, and we have never turned back. We walked in the door and immediately felt like this is where he belonged. And we did a tour. We met some of the kids who had cochlear implants and were speaking orally, and I was blown away. And that's the choice that we made for Brandon, and I have never regretted it. Coming to St. Joe's has done so much for Brandon. When we first came here, I never imagined that I would carry on a conversation with him. He had never told me that he loved me before, and when he was in preschool, he learned how to say I love you, and I had never heard him say that before. And I still, he's done great. He's made friends. He's gotten up in front of his hearing peers and given speeches. St. Joe's gave us hope that we never honestly thought possible. I think if I were to give advice to any families coming in, probably the most important thing is to never give up hope, because like I said before, we just never dreamed that our son would talk. And there were times that I wasn't sure, and we just never gave up hope. We always maintained an open line of communication between the school and ourselves, because that was important in follow through with homework and speech, and it's just been we've always tried to keep open communication. I've always tried to be
on
involved.
St. Joe's because we had looked at all of our options, and really the difference that St. Joe's made was there was so much warmth and kindness and concern for us, and especially for our son. When we came here, everybody talked to him, played with him, and it made such a difference. We also felt like this was a very aggressive educational setting, but done in a very gentle way that just really touched us. And I really think before we even got to the parking lot, we knew this was the place for us. This was the right fit for us.
Yeah, I think we almost ruled St. Joseph out because of the distance from our house to here. But we thought, we owe it to ourselves to at least take a look at it. And when we met here and when we left, I think, I concur with Kim, we got back in the car and we looked at each other and we said, that's what St. Joseph's meant for Benjamin and our family.
It's hard to put in words.
Exactly.
It really is. It's just meant so much.
Yeah, I just can't imagine being on this journey with him and all he's been through without being a part of the St. Joseph family. It's just been tremendous.
St. Joe's, every staff member has taught us how to deal with this situation, how to manage it, what to do next, what steps to take, how to help Benjamin. I don't know. They've educated us as much as they have educated Benjamin. And his success has just been phenomenal. When we started out, we didn't know what was in store. We had no idea we could be at the point that we are at now.
It's one of those things too when we first learned of the situation and we didn't know what to expect, and we really didn't even know what we didn't know. And I was concerned about that. How much we got to learn. But once we got here and we felt so confident in the ability of everybody here that it just was so comforting to me that I felt like, well, if I don't know something, I'll be educated, and I didn't worry about it.
I would say the first step is deal with your emotions, and they're going to come and go, and just let them come, because you need to do that. I would say, start out step by step. It's overwhelming. It really is overwhelming, but you take it one day at a time. You will get an education as well. And I think the biggest thing I learned is that it does turn out okay. And people told me that over and over, and I couldn't believe them at first, but I can say with confidence it really does turn out okay.
Honestly, the reason why it was as easy as it was for us is because of the help and support we had.
So we found out Samantha was deaf at the newborn
hearing screening. And it's a very emotional time, I think, for a parent's life. And so finding a school like here, like St. Joe, and the support you get, and the kindness and the warmth makes that transition so much easier for parents, because you are at it's a very sharp sense of warmth when you walk in the door here. Absolutely, you do. And I think people here, I really think they genuinely love what they do. They love these kids. I don't think that you will get that anywhere else in your life, what you get here. I think she has made a tremendous amount of growth and progress in the years. We struggled a lot when she was initially in Malloy because she wasn't implanted at that time. And so we were working, everybody was working, and yet we weren't seeing a lot of progress. It was very, it was kind of a downer for us. It was a little discouraging for a while. But then when she got implanted and she started in Barb's classroom, the language just started quickly, and Barb was wonderful with her. I think Barb's personality is exactly what she needed, because Barb's a big teddy bear and loves them to pieces, but she does push them, and she knows how to get results from them. And I think that, I believe what we said is she made 2 years of progress in 1 year. And so, even when I sit down with the school district and they look at where she was, even year to year, they're just amazed by it. I think here at the school, they really look at each child as an individual. you know, so this is the goal, this is where we want the kids to get, but they never stop looking at each child's individual needs. And with these kids, that's important, because each child is different, each child learns differently, and these kids do have, you know, a road to climb, you know, and so I think by looking at each child individually, you know, and you know, catering really to meet each child's needs, and they do that here, and I think that's a big part of it too. It allows that child to have that support they need to grow and learn.
We figured out that Kylie had lost her hearing shortly before she turned 1, and began the process of figuring out what we were going to do with her future. I had called all 3 schools in the St. Louis area, and when we came to St. Joe's, we realized that this was the fit that we needed for Kylie, not just because of the Catholic background, but the people here were very welcoming and encouraging. We saw kids who were in the same situation as Kylie, who were speaking in complete sentences and moving on with their lives. So it was great. From the very beginning, we had Judy, who came to our house and did visits with us there, on top of Kylie coming here to the toddler program. And then preschool, now for 2 years, and Kylie is being mainstreamed into kindergarten. So obviously what has happened here at this place has changed everything for her. We went from having a diagnosis of what we thought was bad news, and it's turned out to be you're going to get inundated with information from every angle, from every person, from every parent that you pass in the hallway to every, you know, member of the faculty here. Just take it for what it's worth as valuable information, but don't get overwhelmed by what you're told and what you're given. It'll all fit in where it's supposed to. I wouldn't have thought when we brought Kylie here initially that she would be leaving to go to kindergarten and be mainstreamed into a regular classroom. But it's because of all the things that we've been given here, all the resources. The audiology department here is fantastic. And it's because of everyone here's true concern for making sure that these kids live to their fullest potential that's helped Kylie get to where she is. And that's my advice to anybody going forward. Just take it all in, and it'll all fit where it's supposed to.